Alrighty, Jason Aldean has released his 10th studio album, Macon, and it's time to talk about it. Everyone's favorite rowdy country boy, Jason Aldean, is back again, hitting us with 10 new tracks alongside 5 live versions of previous tracks, which come together to create Macon. However, because it's 2021, artists aren't allowed to only drop one record at a time, so Macon is the first side of Aldean's double album, Macon, Georgia. So, put two and two together, we're going to be getting Georgia sometime soon. Something that never ceases to amaze me is how all of these artists are hopping on each other's bandwagons and trends, all saying how they're releasing a double album, yet nobody's double album is structured remotely alike. At this point, it's more shocking to hear a major label artist isn't releasing a double album, but I digress. Over the last 2 decades, Jason Aldean has been a consistency machine, putting out a record effectively every other year, and has had a steady climb to stardom with numerous chart-topping singles and collaborations. His distinct, nasally voice roaring across his signature country rock style has also helped him build quite a passionate, dedicated fanbase. I guess my only issue up to this point with Aldean's track record is that he's yet to progress as an artist, he's yet to show us a new side of himself or throw a curveball, and it in turn has made his records feel quite numb over the years, and unfortunately this new one, Macon, suffers from the exact same issues. While especially the back half of this record is surprisingly enjoyable and well put together, it just feels like I've heard this album a million times already. Trap beats in the first verse with mellow guitars, some psychedelic electrics in the transitions, and then a blaring rock chorus with soaring vocals. It's not that it's an outright bad formula, even though there are some tweaks I would make. At no point in time am I listening to Macon desperately trying to turn it off. It's just the fact that I feel like I've heard this record a million times before, it ends up feeling very uninspired or insignificant. It's not like Jason's albums ever align with his own personal life. Every time we get a Jason Aldean record, it's going to be a lot of drinking, a lot of small towns, dirt roads, hating those small towns and dirt roads because of an ex, and then a Jesus moment. It's like I could have made this review before the album even came out. However, I would like to give this album some credit because, as I mentioned, it is honestly on the whole enjoyable, tolerable music. I'm not as big on the front half for various reasons. The trap elements are more prominent, and though they're not a deal breaker for me, they definitely don't add anything. The songwriting also feels a lot more one-dimensional and repetitive, with songs like After You and That's What Tequila Does, which feels painfully derivative of 2017 Brett Young. Over You Again wins the award for the song I swear the most is on every other Jason Aldean album, while Small Town Small is just the standout dud. Predictable, stereotypical droning songwriting that I just cannot see past. I mean, for crying out loud, the chorus is just, let's keep the red roads red dirt. Keep the little white church, keep keeping God first. Keep dragging that plow, keep the blue on your collar. Keep the sweat on your dollar, keep the sins in the water, and your roots in the ground. Keep standing tall, hell in your gnaw, and here's to all y'all keeping small towns small. It's songs like this that just tarnish the image of country. Like, anytime I tell someone I like country music, unless they're also a fan, their first instinct is to mock it by practically singing that chorus word for word without even knowing the song exists. But as I said earlier, it truly does pick up in the back half where Jason provides some of his best work he's put out in a while. Right away with the 6th track, Story for Another Glass, he takes a much more smooth country route, and it just goes down so easy. It's very Jason Aldean saying how this X is a story for another glass, but it works. The little details like Illinois, Lakers, and Cowboys all just help give the track some desperately needed personality. And that goes for most of the final tracks. This Bar Don't Work Anymore is another standout for me. The drums are a little softer, the guitars are a little quieter, and when the songwriting is able to hold its own, it makes a world of a difference. Saying how the bar Jason is in helps him get over this girl, but the moment she walks in, this bar doesn't work anymore, and all his getting over her efforts become undone. Again, it's not that it's anything new or out in left field, but it's not one-dimensional, and where the songwriting arguably falls short, it's made up for by a much more balanced and tasteful mix. The final track, Watching You Love Me, is this smooth slap guitar R&B track that I really like the sound of. The chords just come off so colorful, and Jason's vocals just cut right through it all in the best way. Songwriting, I'm still a little confused. To my understanding, it's Jason comparing his wife's love to a farmer not giving up on his tractor, saying how even when the tractor's on its last legs and struggling to finish the row, the farmer doesn't give up. And Jason says as he sees that happening, it's like watching his wife love him. In truth, I do somewhat struggle to put that one together, but either way, the lyrics feel nice over the instrumental, fits the mood perfectly, and if I'm right about the story, that might be the most Jason Aldean way of expressing love that I've ever heard. But hey, at the end of the day, it's something that got me thinking, which is more than his previous albums were able to do. Overall, I feel very similar towards Macon as I do the new Dan and Shay record. There's nothing I outright hate or can't stand, and while there are moments where I'm enjoying myself more than I was expecting, at the end of the day, it's just sort of there. I feel pretty indifferent towards it. It's a great album to throw on in the background of a hot summer day, but it doesn't go too much deeper than that. Rating-wise, I'm feeling a good 5, think like a 5.6 out of 10. And that is all I've got for you guys today. Be sure to let me know what you thought of this album in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. If you're new, maybe consider subscribing for more country music content. And yeah, until next time, have a great day.